Hello and welcome to my presentation. My name is Martin Dien. I'm living in Switzerland, just at the border to Germany and to France, in the town of Basel. I write in German language. I started very early with a novel called The Hidden Gardens. In my career, I almost published about 10 or 12 books, novels, short stories, essays. I would like to put your attention to a book of essay. It's called Reflections in Mirrors. I choose this book because it's a currently relevant book to the Black Lives Matter movement. And it's finally a book about the otherness, that it's a topic in Switzerland as in Great Britain as well, I think. As a son of a Swiss mother and Indian father, Indian Trinidadian father, I have first-hand experience of the arguments surrounding foreigners and the hostility towards everything other. Throughout my literary career, in my books and essays, I have debated this question of the other. The search for my own roots led me to Trinidad and to London, and finally to northern India, from where my ancestors originally set out for the Caribbean in 1867 as contract workers. Cities like Paris and London are key to me. Paris, with so many different ethnicities come together, and London, where the whole continents meet in a kind of people's laboratory. In my essay, Reflections in Mirror, I consider the question of the self and the other, and in so doing, bring to bear the sum of my own experiences thus far on this complex topic. Identity, I suggest, is nothing more than an echo chamber in which the self and the other both reflect and merge into each other. The second book plays in London. It's called My Fathers, because I had two fathers. My mother left Switzerland very early in 1954, and she met a Trinidad Indian guy in London, and she fell in love, and the product was me. She went back to Trinidad and came with another Indian Trinidad man back to Switzerland. The story, it's in a certain way, the story of my two fathers. I invented new, I told new with Robert, and Robert has two fathers, one to many and at the same time one to few. He grew up with his mother and stepfather in Switzerland, but his real father comes from Trinidad. Robert has never met him, and when he suddenly discovers his trail, Robert's life goes to pieces. He leaves his family in Switzerland and moves to London. When he finally meets his father, however, he is not the elegantly dressed gentleman Robert had hoped for, but a neglected old man in a wheelchair in Battersea, who has even lost his voice. The critics wrote about this novel. It's a novel full of humor, excitement, and sometimes brutal frankness. It's my story in a fictional form, the story of having a Swiss mother and two fathers living in London. And my father, my real father, he lost 2 months before I met him. He lost his language, the ability to speak, in a stroke. Thank you for the attention to my two books, My Fathers on the one hand, and the essays, Reflections in Mirrors. Thank you very much.